Hi, everybody. I'm Jason Parker, and I will be teaching your online raster imaging class this term. Right now, I want to take a few minutes to go through the Blackboard course structure and tell you more about how everything works and what the expectations are for you in our online class to learn Photoshop this term. Let's go. All right. Right here, I've signed in to Blackboard and clicked on the raster imaging course. The first thing that you should look at is the announcements. I think that these should pop up when you log into the class each time. As an online student, you really should be logging into this class at least 3 times a week to make sure that you're on top of everything and look for any announcements or things that I'm communicating with you all. These will also come to your email. Be sure to always check the announcements. And here under content is where we'll be working from. Right here under course information, I encourage you to look at who I am, Jason Parker, japarker@atlantatech.edu. Please send me an email anytime you have a question, and I'll be happy to answer it. Here we have the syllabus for this course, Raster Imaging, DMPT1010. These are the outcomes. You should come out of this course being able to demonstrate these skills and knowing a little bit more about raster imaging and Adobe Photoshop. This textbook, do not buy this textbook. This is out of date. I will be working from the Adobe Classroom in a Book 2024 release. The new 2025 release of the Classroom in a Book will most likely come out this month, but the basics of Photoshop have stayed the same. But again, the book is optional. I have plenty of video demos and other help for you here in the class. Next up, we have the syllabus addendum, which will tell you some specific things about my class. Raster imaging, again, japarker@atlantatech.edu. I don't have an office or phone number, but I'm happy to talk to you as needed. We will not meet in person unless you happen to be on campus and we want to get together. Let me know. Adobe Photoshop Classroom in a Book, optional. I'll teach you online. You will need computer, internet access to the Adobe Creative Cloud, which will give you Photoshop access. The labs on campus do have Photoshop there, which you'll be able to use. If you cannot access Photoshop, it is very important to tell me as soon as possible. You'll be getting an email from Adobe before long telling you how to log into your Adobe account. Go ahead and do that. Make sure you can do it and download Photoshop to your machine. Any computer that you use to run the Adobe Creative Cloud, you're going to need at least 16 gigabytes of application memory. That's called RAM. It technically will run on a computer with 8 gigabytes of RAM, but you'll be unhappy. 16 is the minimum to have Photoshop work well on your computer. I have some suggestions of computer sources that you might look at if you're going to buy a machine. I wouldn't recommend buying a secondhand machine from an unknown seller. For grading, I'll give you 5 quizzes that will be multiple choice. They are open book and unlimited attempts. I'll take your best grade. Those will total 25% of your grade. We'll do 10 tutorials, which are exercises to learn about Photoshop skills, and those will be worth 35%. And then you'll have 4 sort of larger scale personal creative projects that you will generate the content for, and those will be 40% of your grade. So the idea is that the quizzes give us some of our vocabulary and general navigation learning. Then the tutorials will develop our practical skills in Photoshop, and the projects are intended to sort of synthesize that information into something that is unique and comes from you. My expectation is that we just do the work. I don't expect you to shatter the world of Photoshop art here in our introduction to raster imaging class. So do the work and you will succeed. I'm here to help you with that. Course due date schedule. These are the assignments. Like I said, 5 quizzes, 10 tutorials, and 4 projects, and their due dates. So I will be assigning these dates to each of these graded assessments over the course of the term. Here at the bottom, I have some of our dates that will be out or on break. Again, this is an online class, so you can do the work anytime that suits you before the due date. However, if the due date has passed, do the work. The only way to get a 0 on anything is to not do the work. If you don't turn it in and I have nothing to grade, that is the way to fail. Even if the due date has passed, turn in the work. And here we have the Start Strong assignment. You must do this. This is a requirement. You will be removed from the course if you do not complete the Start Strong assignment. The Start Strong assignment is the college attendance check for this first week. And if you don't do it, you will not be marked as having attended the course and you will be dropped. So do the Start Strong assignment. It is required. All right, that was our course information folder. And we'll look quickly at this student resources folder. These are different college assistance resources for all of you that you may peruse as needed. Then the chunk of the course, the learning parts, are these units. We have units 1 through 15. I've opened up the first 4 to you all now. I'll do these more or less weekly. And here in unit 1, we have these Creative Cloud system requirements. This link will tell you what your computer needs to have in order to run Adobe applications, especially Photoshop. So for example, if I click on Photoshop here, it will tell me I'm on a Macintosh machine. If you're on a Windows, they're up here. You scroll down, Mac, this is your processor, and here it is, RAM, minimum 8 gigs. Again, it'll work, but not well. 16 is the minimum that I would consider for any computer that I would be shopping for. So RAM is not the disk size of the computer, the file storage size, right? 256 megs or 512 megabytes, 1 terabyte. This is RAM, or application memory. You need at least 16 gigabytes on your computer to be happy with running Adobe applications. So those are the Creative Cloud system requirements. Here again is the due date schedule and the syllabus addendum that we just looked at. Here's a document, just a little bit about what raster graphics are. Raster graphics are made out of dots. And as you enlarge or as you change the size of raster documents, those dots either get bigger or smaller. We've all seen this in a Photoshop document that has poor, what we call resolution. And it looks like a bunch of little squares or dots. And so this is one of the things that I wanted you to see as a general introduction or overview of what raster graphics are. And this is Adobe's creative network called behance.net, behance.net. And what I've done here is searched for the Photoshop work to give you an idea of the kinds of things that people are using Photoshop for. Right? You can see that Photoshop isn't just for photography. You can do all kinds of things with Photoshop. So I wanted to give you this link as something you might browse to get an idea of the kind of work that people are currently doing. Also, this Behance community from Adobe is an easy way to get your work into a place where people might shop to hire you. If you don't have a website, anything like that, you might join the Adobe Creative Cloud community. And for example, Irene is available for hire Irene. So this might be a way for you all to look into and get some jobs out there in the world. Then back in Blackboard again, that's the unit 1, right? This week is our kind of introduction. What are we doing here? And what are we looking at? So there's nothing I've graded this week. Next week, when we've made sure to get all of your Adobe accounts, we'll begin on unit 2, which is basic photo corrections. I generally put some kind of document in here that will tell you, list the tools. This will help with your quizzes and things like that. And then from there, you'll take this raster graphics overview quiz, 25 multiple choice questions, open book, unlimited attempts, and then you'll do this tutorial. You may do them in any order you like. This tutorial is basic corrections in Photoshop, and all the tutorials pretty much work this way. You'll download an image right here, O2 Start, click the 3 dots and then download. And I've made a demo video that you can watch.
Hello again, everybody.
And listen to me some more and walk through the Photoshop exercise. So you can click to the specific part of the exercise that you want to get into. These text instructions are kind of a roundup of what you do in those. The specific instructions are really in the video. Then when you're done with any of these tutorials, you will name it, tutorial 1 dash your last name and save it as a Photoshop PDF or Adobe PDF. Whoops, I need to change that. Then I also have the same instructions here as a PDF that you can download to your desktop if you want to do that. Once you save as a PDF, save that final file as a PDF document, you'll upload it right here. You'll upload your file here, drag and drop it. I'll click on attachment, and I'll say, so I'll call it, Parker tutorial utoril1.pdf. Click save. There it is. If you have a note that you'd like to write to me or some kind of comment or question, go ahead and type it here. Hello, I have a question. You can type it there, and then you would click submit, and I would get your completed tutorial in the gradebook to grade. Tutorials really are intended for you to go through the steps. So get as creative as you want with it, but what I'm really interested in is using the selection tool and using the object tool and using the move tool and using the different tools that we're covering in the tutorial. So tutorials are really mostly about doing it. I just need to see that they're done. So that's kind of a gimme grade. So there you would click submit. That's unit 1, or unit 2 rather. In unit 2, we'll do working with selections tutorial. And again, I have a bunch of tools here that you will use in selections, and will help you with the quizzes as they continue to come out. You can see each of them has a due date assigned. So this working with selections is the same thing. View instructions. Again, we have a video demo. Here's your file to download, O3 start. Click on the 3 dots and download it. These are the general idea of each tool in this demo. Watch the video. Here's a PDF copy of those instructions. And when you're done, you've saved as a PDF, and we'll drop it here and submit. Unit 4, same deal. And our first project. So this tutorial, I really like this tutorial because it gets you using a lot of the Photoshop tools. But again, same setup, right? Instructions, watch a video, download some files, complete, save as PDF, and submit. Here's a document on what layers are all about and some of the tools there. And our first project is personal logo design. So there's no photography in this one, or photoshopping. Really, we're creating something from scratch here. And so I've actually got 2 demo videos for this one that I did in different formats to give you an idea of what I'm looking for. You'll create a unique personal logo to represent yourself, and it's just basic design principles and some simple tools from Photoshop. I ask you for 3 logo variations: simple shapes, colors, text, lines, etc. When I say variations, I don't mean something entirely new from scratch each time. I mean one in black and white, one in, let's say, this purple here, and one in a reverse of that color. So purple on white would be white on purple. Those are variations. And so, yeah, like I said, I did 2 different videos to give you a little different perspective in each one. And here are some additional tutorials that you might use as reference to get into any new or additional information that you might want as you put your logo together. Some guidance as you think, and this is the one where I hope you might get creative too. Export your final file as a PDF and then submit it in Blackboard, same as usual. Test your logo on different backgrounds to ensure versatility. That's the reason for the variations. So again, you would complete that, drag the PDF here, and click submit. Here's some guidance about what logos are and how they work. We recognize all of these: Nike, Ferrari, Starbucks, Apple, Pepsi. So that's some key points on designing logos. Then as these great opportunities pop up, you'll see them in your gradebook, and I encourage you to keep up with that. You'll also, as the due dates pass, and if you haven't submitted something, you will automatically be assigned a 0. However, the only way to keep that 0 is to not do the work. You will not get a 0 if you do the work and turn it in late or not. Please do the work. I am here to assist you and help you be successful in this course. And I hope that I want to have a good time doing our fun Photoshop stuff. I really enjoy this program. I've used it for a really long time. And if you have any questions, send me an email. Do the work. Ask me any questions you have, and we'll learn something about Photoshop this term. Thanks very much, and I'll see you online.